Game number 3 is getting underway right now, though. We're going to see how these guys have adjusted to the information they've seen so far, because this one is looking very interesting to me. You know, SjoW's queuing up Hunter 2 games in a row here now. He obviously believes that this deck is powerful enough to get things done.
Oh, and here's something we don't always see from SjoW, and this is Druid, and look at Powder. That is an aggressive Paladin deck.
Yeah, I think SjoW should have anticipated this too. I actually would have liked to see him avoid Druid.
I'm sorry, not Paladin, Warlock, yeah.
I actually would have liked to see him avoid Druid in this matchup, considering how aggressive Powder tends to be. If this deck falls behind on board, it's not recovering.
Yeah, and now, you know, some of these decks that we've seen from Warlock that have power overwhelming them, they aren't always super aggressive. You know, they have that demon-centric thing that, you know, can play some mid-game and some long game all the way up, you know, to Malagos. But when you see Argent Squire, you know that he wants to get on the board early and get moving early.
Yeah, plus Leopard Gnome too. I mean, he's looking to actually just straight up kill SjoW in this one. Mulligans away the Argent Squire. I'm curious exactly what he's looking for in this. Maybe like just a more powerful 2-drop or another 1-drop?
I think it's a curve consideration. He just wants to be able to do as much as possible over the first couple turns, and having an extra 1-drop isn't what he needs. Speaking of bad hands, SjoW's does not look good.
Yeah, curve considerations are looking miserable for SjoW right now. This is hero power 1 through 4 right now. I'm sorry, turns 2 through 4 right now. Just not the spot he wants to be in.
Yeah, this is looking abysmal here for SjoW, and you can see it on his face. He is very worried, and when he sees these turn 1 Leopard Gnome, this is the nightmare.
Yeah, Flame It probably would have been a little bit worse, but Leopard Gnome, still a dire situation.
I mean, just look at SjoW. You could tell he's tapping his foot really fast here, that he's actually really, really nervous. You know, he just drew another card that he can't play, and just looking at his body language of the way that he is in his seat, we haven't seen this from him before in a match.
Yeah, just what can you do in this spot? He's going to be able to use hero powers to chew through this, so at least he's getting something done in the meantime. But again, Powder's draw just looking so strong.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of 1 and 2 drops. We talked about this. He likes to get on the ground early and get running early and get some damage and SjoW. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, that could actually potentially change the way that this game is going to pan out. He's going to be content with hero powers, though. You know, honestly, I don't think Savage Roar and killing the Haunted Creeper this turn is a bad play.
Yeah, setting up, you know, a better swipe the turn, you know, next turn.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's really something that is necessarily terrible in this spot. Powder picks up Defender of Argus. That's looking very good on this board right now.
Yeah, this Defender of Argus is going to be great. Love that card in these decks. It's so good in all the matchups, beefing up your minions, and if you're in any kind of race situation, it's a game breaker. Yeah,
SjoW has found himself some strong utility, though, so not out of this one quite yet. But Powder's going to be looking to apply a ton of pressure and keep things going.
Yeah, SjoW's going to be looking for a good spot to get in this swipe here. This Keeper of the Grove going to be doing some work here, but you got to believe he's going to taunt up a Druid of the Claw this turn, or maybe even Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, I mean, now at this point, this game is looking, you know, very, very winnable from SjoW's side of the board. He's going to get a little bit of bad news with his power overwhelming, but certainly not out of this game yet.
Yeah, we've seen this. Oh, and that is a second power overwhelming. Great draw from Powder. We've seen this time and time again with the Druid decks for opening hands. They've looked so bad, but as long as they draw their cards on curve in turns 3, 4, and 5, they can still do disgusting things.
That Powder's draw is just looking magnificent right now. I mean, what's going to stop him from running this game over right now? Just look at the damage crashing in and look at the pressure behind this.
Yeah, well, this swipe isn't going to be good enough. Neither is this Keeper of the Grove. Neither is Micro Machine.
He's got 9 points of damage from hand right now. Is SjoW prepared for something like that?
I mean, Druid can have a decent matchup against these, especially if you have like an early Keeper of the Grove. Like Innervated Keeper of the Grove is like the actual nuts from here. But Powder, his hand has been so amazing this game. He's used every mana, every turn, just flooding the board with these 1 and 2 cost minions, and then he's drawn these Doom Guards and this power overwhelming at the exact right moments.
It looks like also this Doom Guard might be a liability to draw the second one, but something that's happening now is if that Doom Guard was in his deck, it would be X to 1 to draw the Doom Guard, but now he has a 33% chance to keep a Doom Guard if he plays one.
Yeah, it's something you always talk about. It looks, you know, unfortunate for him to have this card here when actually it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, and 9 points of damage from hand. That will set SjoW to 1. Is that the position that Powder wants to put himself in right now? He has the opportunity to do so, you know, but at what cost? What does it cost him to be applying this much pressure? Okay, so if he gets SjoW to 1 here, we saw some burn spells on his deck, so he'd be able to finish off the game that way. He may think this is, you know, a risk worth taking. I like this, you know, playing the Doom Guard first as well. I'm going to play Doom Guard. Again, 33% chance he keeps the second Doom Guard, and that's an ugly looking scenario for SjoW. at this point. And I have to go with Powder on this one too. I think the pressure that he can add here could potentially just be too much at the end of the day. Keeps the Haunted Creeper though. That's the worst one in his hand.
Yeah, this is the one that he didn't want to keep here. Now, do you pick off this Micro Machine? I think you have to. You can't, play around the second swipe. I mean, you have to play around the second swipe.
Yeah, I think he's got to do it too. And now SjoW, this is really a big turn for him. If this Druid of the Claw sticks to the board, if Powder doesn't have a way to chew through this, say an abuse, say something like an implosion maybe next turn. Wow, SjoW he's thumbing over Dr. Boom. What's going through his head right now?
Okay, he's thinking about the best way for him to win from here. He has Savage Roar and Force of Nature's Hand, so if something like Innervate comes off the top of the deck, he could actually win next turn.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. I mean, this does apply a lot of pressure on the other side of things. And if he lives through this Dr. Boom turn, the game is just almost outright won.
Yeah, but he has to fade multiple cards here. Powder has a card left over in his hand, and he's going to get to draw an extra one this turn, so he's going to have 3 different cards.
You talk about big risks. SjoW is taking a massive one right now. Implosion gets picked up, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. I mean, SjoW has some lethal... Innervate is a lethal draw this turn.
And Powder's going to do even more damage to himself here as well.
This is a really tense draw. If he charges Druid of the Claw, he's got 10 damage from Savage Roar. He's got 7, 21, 22. He's got 23 damage. He's got it just with Druid of the Claw and Savage Roar. He didn't even need Innervate. That extra 3 damage, was that killer for Powder?
Yeah, I was about to say if Powder plays this
no, it didn't matter. He had 23 points of damage this turn. So just wonderful stuff from SjoW in this game. What a big risk to be taking on that turn. But look, this is the example of when players can do that. He saw Power Overwhelmings. He saw an Abusive Sergeant. He knows there's no charge damage left in this deck because another Doomguard got discarded. This is a wonderful observation from SjoW of when to take what looks like a major risk. It's actually a very minor one because Powder just doesn't have the damage left.